Dublin-Macon Cardiology, celebrating over 14 years of serving Dublin and Lawrence County. At Dublin-Macon Cardiology, we're always committed to taking care of you and your heart. Bringing state-of-the-art cardiac care closer to home with a walk-in chest pain center. New patients are always welcome and no referral is ever required. Dr. Vega is proud to announce the addition of Elise Rotrammel, a nurse practitioner, to our staff. Drop by today at Dublin-Macon Cardiology, 206A Hospital Drive in Dublin.
Hey everybody, it's Renee with CSB for You and Me, and we are in Savannah today with our LOCC showcase.
You're always going to find somebody that you can rely to carry on the work that happens at the ground level. We can talk about homelessness, we can talk about tiny houses, we can talk about mental health education, but somebody got to take that idea and make it happen in the field. So we, the field office, because I got some input from my partners, from Mr. Daniels and Mr. Flanagan and a few others. Maybe you need to look at this individual or this agency. But I try to attend as many meetings as I can because I want to be part of where the action is. I know there's action in each of all the LCCs that we are part of. So, I was looking for an individual that goes the extra mile. We can talk about homelessness again, but the individual that's going to address that need on the ground. It's interesting how we selected this individual. It was pretty tough. I had like 3 choices. But then I say, okay, let me look at how they started. This particular individual started with, we're just going to address this particular group. There was 2 people that came to the LOCC meeting about almost 3 years ago. And that was it. But then, as the need kept increasing and increasing, they got expanded. They went from addressing this particular group to addressing kids, to addressing individuals with substance abuse issues, addressing individuals that were homelessness. Then they collaborated with the local school that built them some tiny houses. Now, keep shaking her head. I wish I had a camera for that. Everybody does the same. When I say something, or somebody says something, and I just pointed at me, I'm going to get you. So this lady started with this vision. Now God had opened the gates to serve so many people. I don't know if you know about this particular organization. Now they have a 501c3. They started that last year. And you'll see the presentation so far, and you see the champions that came forward so far. Some are for the county commissioners, from the local government, some are from the city, some from the CSBs. But here's somebody that had to go through the struggle of not having those champions at the table, and to be as successful as she and her team has been remarkable. Cannot say that enough because it amazes me. You know, people can go there. There's nobody going to judge them. You're a house here. There are some rules. Not everybody else has rules. But you give them the opportunity to make a difference. The people, they care for people, they love people, and they love to serve them and meet them where they are. Now, You have the tiny houses. You have warehouses full of clothes. Then they started with helping the veterans, which as you all know is very dear to my heart. But now they sell pretty much everybody. There's 1,000 kids homeless. They do book bags. They do clothes. They do food pantries. I mean, they have these trailers. I don't know how you do that. They spray it inside the insulation. They got AC. So this trailer is like a long, 53 feet long freezer. And you have food in there. People come, fill out paperwork. They're not going to ask, why you need food? No, I need food. Here you are. And that continues to grow and grow and grow. So that's why this year we selected Ms. Pamela Otts from the Widows Hall Ministry Incorporated.
I'm okay with you.
Pam's also been a very staunch supporter of our LOCC, and she's just been a blessing to work with. She has the ministry, as Jose said, started out, she and her husband, working with some veterans, and then it's just blown up. It's grown incredibly over the last several years that we've known her. And you know, one of our 4 major areas that we have addressed in our LOCC has been homelessness. And I think that's probably how we got to know Pam initially, to begin with, as far as where her focus was. But as Jose said, if there's a need out there, she and her brother also have a little Facebook page that's called the I'm In Crew. And so if there's a need that she hears about, she posts it on the Facebook page of the I'm In Crew, and somebody will say, I'm in, or I've got that for you. And I mean, in just minutes sometimes she has whatever the need is, if it's a pairs of shoes or clothes or food or a hotel room for a couple of nights, she has it, because people are that responsive to her and to Keith in getting the message out. But there's also, you know, as we heard earlier, really people want to help other people. I mean, people don't like to see other people in pain or suffering, and so there's just a lot of good folks out there, y'all. And one of her little sayings that we use a lot, we kind of sort of co-opted it from her, but she, in her talk, will say, when she's speaking to a group, if you don't have to have a lot, you just have to have a little bit, and if you bring your littles to the table, then just wonderful, magnificent things happen, and it really phenomenal things have happened. And so we have a little token. We have a little nonprofit that we also work with. Our agency's kind of the anchor program. It's called Emerald City Helping Others, ECHO Incorporated. And we use that helping us do some fundraising and to go after some grants. Sometimes they would like for people to be at 501c3s to be grant recipients. And so we have a little small monetary donation today, Pam, that we would like to offer you as well. So.
Okay, I've been had. As my daddy would say, I'm cootered. Which means I really got off with, but thank y'all. I don't deserve it, but I'll take it. And this little will go to make some big miracles.
Yes.
I'm speechless in that one. I do this for one reason. It's because God asked us to. Excuse me. The one thing He says is love our neighbor. We're all neighbors. And when you realize that, there's nothing else you can do. You have to love them. I love y'all. Some of y'all know it's in trouble.
Slip into fun all summer long at the Southern Pines Water Park. Open Monday through Friday 10 till 6, Saturday and Sunday 8 till 6. The weather is hot, so cool off today in the lazy river, the splash pool, or the 6-lane lap pool, or squill into fun with the 20-foot water slide. Grab the kids, grab the family, and head on out to the Southern Pines Water Park in Dublin.
Our next community champion began working with adults with behavioral health needs and coexisting concerns around the need for housing and homelessness in 2015. She initially began to work with the Region 5 Field Office Georgia Housing Voucher Program, and her knowledge of the process, her accomplishments in this role exceeded and went above expectations. During 2016, the CSB of Middle Georgia held its first kickoff meeting for the RCC, and they're wearing it proudly, Loving Our Communities, which was affectionately named. They didn't want to just be a RCC, because everybody in here, because of the passion, we have to love our communities to keep doing what we do. She's been an ardent and active participant throughout the coalition's existence, and she does much to recognize recovery efforts, to share resources, and to provide behavioral health education and awareness. She believes in celebrating success in the lives of those that are served and in the communities. In keeping with this philosophy, she extended invitations to individuals with lived experience to attend the LOCC meetings over the past year and share firsthand information regarding their personal journey toward recovery. A remarkable example, and there are many, but one of these examples are a gentleman named Anthony. For 25 years, he resided in prison. Through outreach, she and her team met with him to discuss options post-prison. In his own words, he describes himself as thinking that the staff would simply offer propaganda and that the team was just going to go through the motion to check off a box, indicating that they had done their job. He was depressed, did not want to live with his family, and was afraid that he would go back to the streets and eventually back to prison. He felt hopeless and believed no one cared. But this champion and her team changed that mindset. And he describes them as persistent in calling him and reaching out. They continued to set up appointments despite all the ones he missed. They went frequently to his family's house to meet where he was, even if they refused to answer the door. He ends his story by saying that he now has an apartment. Though small, it is his. He now owns a car. He found a job and was promoted to a supervisory position. He got his dignity back. He found a reason to be. He found a good life beyond what he once thought was never possible. This 2019 RCC champion helped make that happen. She is a mother to 3 children. She is a friend to many. She is an HIV tester and post-test counselor for the state of Georgia Imagine Hope. She represents Trutland County and the Board of Commissioners, and she's a member in good standing on the CSB of Middle Georgia's Advisory Council. She is dedicated to the LOCC, where she works on the Homelessness Subcommittee. She's an expert on resources for the homeless and those at threat for becoming homeless. She's an advocate and a voice for many who feel they do not have a voice. In November 2018, this individual received an inaugural award from the Georgia Supportive Housing Association when she was named Outstanding Staff Member of the Year for supportive housing services for the state of Georgia. The CSB of Middle Georgia and their LOCC reports that they are better because of the work that she does for them, for those in the communities, and for the individuals that are served. For all of the above reasons, and so many more that may not have been mentioned, the CSB of Middle Georgia and the Department of Behavioral Health are proud and honored to recognize Ms. Calli Hollis as the 2019 RCC Champion of the Year.
I'll make this short and sweet too, because I want to give Kayla a chance to add a few words. But this was the funny for the day for all of y'all who don't know this, and most of y'all don't know this. Kayla was actually double booked today. She had signed up to go to an HIV class that started today, and it's probably on the west side of Georgia. And so we've been really busy, and a lot of times somebody will make sure that all the calendars are checked, but she wound up asking Tina earlier, I think this week, about the RCC showcase today. And, you know, she couldn't be in two places at one time, so Tina didn't even think about, you know, the other part of the showcase was the awards. So when Kayla wound up emailing, we were back and forth, and I really couldn't say. But I finally just said, well, you know, it probably would be a really good idea. You're real involved with the LOCC, but we really are thrilled to have her here to get this award. She does an awful lot across our 10 counties. She also assists whenever she has to in the other region for as a resource person to offer guidance. Kayla does have a dual role, and it's special to us because one of our counties in Region 5 is Troutland, and she has the distinct privilege of being on the Board of Commissioners there. So we get to, you know, kind of live a little bit of her life in two worlds, and she's a very outspoken advocate for mental health services. In coming up here today, we were talking a little bit about of an initiative that we want to work with Rise Up on in the next few months through the Troutland County Jail. And so Kayla has agreed to help us make that happen with our sheriff there. So we're proud of you, Kayla, and we appreciate the work that you and your team do. And when Giovanna was reading the little write-up we did, there are just untold numbers of people that their team touches on a daily basis. And so it is all about making sure that we do the best we can to help those in need in whatever their circumstances are. So we're very proud of you.
Oh, this is a shocker. Like Denise said, I was double booked today, but she insisted that I come. Stories like Anthony Ingram and many more stories is the reason why I do what I do. And I am in a dual role, and matter of fact, as I was coming up, one of the commissioners was calling me a few minutes ago on a project that we're working on now, and it ties into mental health. And everything that I can do, I do it. I don't complain. I won't complain because I love what I do. And just this RCC here is just an example of everything that we do, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Curry Maffitt Insurance has been a part of our community for the past 117 years. Come in today at our brand new location in downtown Dublin and experience the difference an independent agent can make. At Curry Maffitt Insurance, we can handle all your insurance needs, including home, auto, and business. Plus, we're local. Since 1902, Curry Maffitt Insurance, now at 115 West Jackson Street in downtown Dublin.
The next and final 2019 RCC champion is a native of East Dublin, Georgia, and graduated during the country's bicentennial year from East Lawrence High School. He is married to Julie Higgins Deal, and they have 2 children. His daughter is an LPN at Quentin's Place, the Crisis Stabilization Unit for CSB of Middle Georgia. He attended Middle Georgia College, is the chairman of the Wilkes Ministry Board, an ambassador for the Chamber of Commerce, a faithful member of Loving Our Community Coalition, and worships at Bethlehem Baptist Church. He is confident and grounded in his faith and passionate about helping others. He has worked at TV 35, a local television station supporting the Middle Georgia area since 2007. He has a gift for helping and supporting others, is easily approachable, and is a great listener. He has naturally become a spokesperson for the CSB of Middle Georgia, RCC. He also helps in multiple ways to educate churches and ministries in the area about the services CSB of Middle Georgia provides, as well as bring clarity to the 4 focus areas of the LOCC. One way is simply by word of mouth. As he has learned about the behavioral health services that CSB of Middle Georgia provides, he is spreading the word, and I quote, like wildfire. Another way he's helping to educate the community regarding behavioral health services and the Love in Our Communities RCC is through his work at TV 35. He brings awareness to what is available in the community for those with a developmental disability, as well as highlights opportunities and services for those suffering from behavioral health or addictive disease. Over the past year, this individual and his TV 35 camera could be seen throughout the area at local events showcasing the work of CSB of Middle Georgia and the LOCC. He's covered so many events, including the Systems of Care, Communities and our events sponsored by Systems of Care, Communities in School, Sources of Strength, Voices of Hope, and the annual Youth Rally. James and TV 35 began collaborating with the CSB of Middle Georgia on a new production airing in July 2019. It is affectionately called CSB for You and Me. This TV show airs on the local Dublin channel 3 days a week and provides a platform to educate many of the additional outlying counties and about the important work that the LOCC and the CSB of Middle Georgia are engaged in. He's working with several organizations in the community with hopes of eventually opening a transformational homeless shelter in Dublin this fall. He's met with multiple partners in preparation for this to secure assistance, including from Oconee Fall Line Technical College. The shelter will help guests set up a savings account so that when they graduate from a GED or technical program, they will be able to get a car or put a deposit on an apartment or home. The shelter will also work with the individuals on their spiritual pursuits. He wants to help those who find themselves without a home and transform their lives. He speaks clear, firm, and confident to those in the community, whether face-to-face or on TV, about how recovery is real and that together as a team, you can surpass any challenge. For all of this, and a lot more, it is the pleasure of the CSB of Middle Georgia, LOCC, and the Department of Behavioral Health Region 5 Field Office to name the 2019 Regional Community Collaborative LOCC Champion for 2019 for Dublin, Lawrence, Johnson, and Emmanuel County areas, Mr. James Deal.
We're very appreciative to have all of our LOCC members. And we're very appreciative to have the medium that James is able to bring to us through TV and YouTube. And, you know, we can reach so many more people through those types of media than we can one-on-one. He's got wonderful stories that he tells about recovery, meeting people in need, and he works especially hard and faithfully with the homeless. And so I think what we sent in about him says it all. He has a heart for this ministry. We've tried for a number of years to move some things forward in terms of a homeless shelter. Had a lot of ideas, ran into some roadblocks, but the work that he and Ms. Pam Otts as well has helped to put a lot of people in housing. And hopefully in the next few months to a year, we'll have a shelter in our area that'll be able to do, as James likes to say, transformational things for people's lives. So, James, congratulations.
Now you're in the TV spot. Go ahead, sir.
I definitely don't deserve this, that's for sure, but I can tell you, God is so good. Oh, I don't know why. This is a total shock. But I'm never for a loss for words. I do TV all the time. But I'm always the one surprising somebody else. But I do love helping the homeless, those that can't help themselves. I read Matthew 25 probably every week when it talks about if they were naked, you clothe them. The stranger, you took them in. And God tells us in so many places. I spoke to a church Sunday in Wrightsville who took up a love offering for our homeless shelter. And I told them, one of my favorite verses is Proverbs 19:17. It says, to those who help the needy is a loan to the Lord, and He will reward you greatly. To me, that's an awesome feeling to know that I can loan to the Lord someone who is a wicked sinner saved by God's grace. And I thank Him for that, but I thank you for this. I don't deserve it, though. I came down here to film Pam Otts get an award. Surprise! And I've been taking pictures of her and filming her over there. But I guess the surprise is on me. But thank you so much. I just love the working with the folks at the Community Service Board of Middle Georgia. Just a wonderful program. I never knew what they do in our community, all the resources that we have. But I'm looking forward to, when we open our shelter, working hand in hand with the Community Service Board and helping these people have a better life. And we're going to transform their lives. We're going to make them a better life. And so many homeless people I meet every day. But I told Denise a few weeks ago about a man that I helped on a Saturday morning, and I gave him, I keep it out there in the back of my car right now. If you go out there, I got a stack of Bibles, and I got 2 big boxes of blessing bags, and I give all kind of different things, water and food, and for women, and I got them marked women and men. Men get a certain thing, women get a certain thing. But I gave a man 2 blessing bags, and he looked at it and he said, socks. I have no socks. And I cried all day because here I am with socks everywhere. You know, I felt so guilty this man had no socks. And I told Denise about it, and the next time I was in her office, she brought me socks. So that shows you the collaboration between people who genuinely love their fellow man. And I love that relationship. And I didn't think Jose would ever give me anything after I interviewed him about mental health. I figured he didn't like me anymore. But I really appreciate this. Thank you so much.